of clocks, which is this one made in the year 1640 by two local farmers. As you can see, it has a very simple design because it's entirely made from wood. For mechanism, it's using only these three wooden wheels in the middle, and for the power, it's using the stone. So whenever the stone is going down, it will move the three wooden wheels and the clock will start working. Unfortunately, it will not show you the accurate time because in the front it has only one hand to show you the hours and not the minutes. So you can imagine how hard it was for the people to get the time back then. Really hard. That's why the second generation comes 100 years later, which is this one called the shield clock. They call it like that because of the big front face. And the people put it so they can have some nice paintings on as a decoration. Here, for example, we have these nice flowers, but the most important thing is the cuckoo that we have for the first time. The cuckoo is actually here to tell us the time. So whenever it's showing you the hours, like now 5 o'clock, you'll have 5 cuckoo calls. 6 o'clock 6 times, and so on until 12. But we'll have one cuckoo call every half an hour, so we can enjoy it more often. The third generation comes 70 years later, which is this one called the station clock. During the Industrial Revolution, when the trains started to come here in the Black Forest, they wanted to make something special for the railway stations. Exactly this clock. That is why the clock has the design of the old station houses, and if you can see the lines on the sides which represent the railway tracks. What's most important is that at this time the people started to carve the wood for the decorations and not only to paint on it. The wood which they're using is called basswood or lime wood, which is a very soft and lightweight wood perfect for carving. But first they have to leave the wood to dry about 4 years and only then they can start carving. And usually to finish one clock it will take from a couple of days to about a month depending on the size of it. But just to have the very simple clocks, first we'll start with the casing. After that we can put our decoration in front of the clock like this, and on the top we can also put a bird with a couple of more leaves. And this way we'll be getting the very traditional design of the Black Forest cuckoo clock. To make them work, they also developed these metal mechanisms which are made from brass and stainless steel, so they can last for a very long time, up to 60 to 70 years. But to power them, instead of a stone, now they started to use two metal weights. The clocks which are using the smaller weights are called one-day clocks, so they will work exactly 24 hours, and after that we have to rewind them. The others which are using the bigger weights are called 8-day clocks, so for them you have to rewind only once in a week. And how to rewind them is just by simply pulling the chains on the clocks like this and keeping the weights all the way up. From about 2 meters height, both weights will be going slowly down until they reach the floor. That will be the time when you have to pull them back up so you can keep the clock working. But on some of the clocks you'll see that instead of having 2 weights, we're going to have 3 weights. That's because here we'll have the people moving, the water wheel spinning, and the dancers on the top will start rotating. We're also going to have a music box inside, so we can have some nice melodies. But now I'm going to play the clock for you so you can see what exactly I'm talking about. First thing you'll notice is the lady with the rolling pin in her hand, scolding the two gentlemen because they're wasting too much time drinking beer instead of making cuckoo clocks. That is why these type of clocks are very well known here in the Black Forest, like mother-in-law clocks. Which I think we can all agree is the same everywhere and not only here, right? So I have an advice for you gentlemen. Please, listen to your wives or girlfriends, so you don't get hit on your heads with something like this. That's why for your safety I'm keeping this away from the women. And the most important thing for the cuckoo clocks is the cuckoo sound which we get from these wooden air bells. They work like a whistle, so whenever the air is coming in and out, they'll make the sound like this. Whenever I play them together, they sound like cuckoo. Smaller clocks will have smaller air bellows and the sound will be different. This will be like a baby cuckoo. And for the bigger clocks, of course, we'll have the bigger air bellows, which will sound like a very old cuckoo. But as I said, this is only a part from the history of the mechanical cuckoo clocks, which are still a big tradition here. But nowadays you can also find battery power clocks. They're still having the same design and carvings, just like the mechanical ones. The difference is the mechanism powered by the batteries. You're also going to have the chains with the weights on them, but they will be only for decoration, so you don't have to pull them. And just to mention, because all of the prices here in the shop are labeled with the taxes included, which you actually don't have to pay, you'll be getting a tax refund cards from your tour leader. And with them, if you purchase something above 50 euro, you'll get the tax refund right here in the shop, and your purchase will be deducted by 15%. So, thank you for your attention, have a good day, and enjoy your time.
Thank you. Yes. Yes.
That is not bad. Akka, don't get that. Oh, वापस चली होगी कि नहीं होगी?
ನೀರಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಡ ನೀನ್ ಇತ್ಲಾಗಿ ಬಾ ಅದು ಬತ್ತು ಹಂಗೆ ದೂರ ದೂರಕ್ಕೆ ಬಿಸಾಡಾಯ್ತು ಹಿಂದೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ಗಡ ಅಲ್ಲ ನಿಲ್ಲು ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಅನಿ ನೀನಿದ ನಿಲ್ಲು ನಿಲ್ಲು ಅನಿಕೆಗೆ ಕೊಡ್ಲಿ ಆಯ್ತು ಪಕ್ಕ ಪಕ್ಕ ಕೊಡು ಅನಿ ನೀರ್ನ ಹತ್ರ ಬಾ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ನಿಲ್ಲು ಪಕ್ಕ ಪಕ್ಕ ತುಂಡು ಮಾಡಿ ಹಾಕು
ನೀರು ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಸೈಡ್ ನೀರು
ಹೋಗಡ ಈಚೀಚೆ ಬಾನಿ
ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಅಷ್ಟೇ.
ಕೊಡು, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಕೊಡಪ್ಪ ಹಂಗೆ ಹತ್ರ ಕೇಳು. ಬಾಯ್ ಡಕ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ಹೇಳು, ಹೇಳು, ಸೇ ಬಾಯ್. ಆಚೋಡೆ ಹೋಗಂಗಾರೆ ಬಾ. ಬಾ. ಅದು ಕಲ್ಲಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ತಿಂತಿಲ್ಲ ಅದ್ರ. ಹಾ ಬಾ. ಅನಿ, ಅಮ್ಮ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ. ಎಂತ ಹೇಳಿದೆ?
Come to my house tomorrow. Okay, bye.
ಹಾ ಓಕೆ.